What is up, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Chris, and today I'm back with another video here. So the Flyers lose 4-1 to the Washington Capitals in a very, very winnable game. This game was very frustrating. Not even like that the Flyers played bad or anything like that. Like, they had so many looks in this game, or so many little creative passes and plays, or maybe shots that could have been on net that went wide, or pucks that rolled off sticks that, if they stayed in, maybe it's a glorious chance or a goal. And again, the power play was good in this game for the Flyers, and they had looks, but the Caps ended up getting the game winner from Strome, and Ovechkin just gets himself closer and closer to second all time in goals. And yeah, that's kind of how this one went. So the lines of this one: Hayes, Cates, Konechny, Lawton, Sedlak, and Farabee. Van Riemsdyk back in the lineup for the Flyers. Very good to see. I thought JVR had a solid game. I mean, quiet, but solid. I mean, it's his first game and since October 27th, so definitely didn't expect much from JVR tonight. Van Riemsdyk with Frost and Tippett, Delorier with Brown and McEwen, Provorov versus Linen, Sanheim and Braun, Seaward, D'Angelo, and Carter Hart wasn't that. I personally thought Sandstrom was going to get the start tonight. Sandstrom hasn't played it in a while. His last game was against Washington. But yeah, I mean, he really, he just has not played in a while, and I was kind of surprised. I'm thinking they're gonna go Sandstrom in one of these games on the road trip. Probably against Arizona would be my best bet. I don't see them starting hard or starting Sandstrom against Vegas. So we'll see. But I was kind of surprised. If we're looking at the first period here, the Flyers, they had a power play early, a couple good looks, a lot of good passing, a lot of good stuff from the first unit, second unit, nothing really too crazy. The Caps had no shots up until the 12.5-minute mark, where they got their first shot, which wasn't even really a shot. It was a pass in front for a tip. It was credited as a shot. It wasn't really a shot. It was a tip. It was directed on goal, but it wasn't a legit shot. So it's weird. You can tip a puck in the slot. It can be go towards a goaltender, and it's called a shot. It's credited as a shot, but a puck that hits the post isn't shot. I don't understand why. Anyway, so the Flyers actually had some pretty good energy in the first period. I thought they played a good first. They just took too many penalties. So Sealer gets a hook. Pretty good kill overall. Flyers had a couple of blocks. They won some faceoffs. Nothing really too crazy from Washington. Then the Flyers get a power play. Really good power play. A lot of looks. Cates almost had a tip in front off of a broken stick from Hayes. Konechny had a chance that went wide. And then Hayes scores. Good traffic in front. Good play by Cates just to set up in front. And, Lingering, it's a little different because he's opposite-handed. So he's kind of like how Steve Mason was, so he catches with the right hand. And usually when, a left-handed shot, I don't think Hayes would always shoot that side on a regular goaltender because he's left-handed. That's going on a goalie's glove hand. That could be an easy glove save. But for Lingering, it's a little different because it's a blocker and it goes through. So 1-0. And again, the Flyers with another shift, giving up a quality scoring chance after a goal. And Ovechkin hits the crossbar, and Sedlak takes a penalty off a tripping call. Now, the TV camera angle of this showed basically Ovechkin tripping, just literally skating over Sedlak and falling. Really nothing Sedlak did. I don't know if that was the actual call, though, because the Caps had the puck for a while. Or if that was the actual play that led to the penalty call, is what I'm trying to say. So anyway, they call that. Provorov had a block shot off of a Strome shot. Ovechkin had a chance that deflected wide. Lawton had a nice stick check. Again, just aggressive. Flyers have been very good in the penalty kill in recent games. And another power play goal. Again, like I mentioned, special teams has been better. And then McEwen gets a trip. And that's in the offensive zone. So a lot of penalties. So that one carries over for minute 56. Oshie had a chance in the slot. Hart lost his stick. Literally hit the knob of his stick. And I don't know if anybody's ever seen those videos of the baseball players that would flip the bat upside down. It would kind of do that trick and flick back up into their hand. That's kind of how Hart's stick, it just kind of did this and bounced right back into his hand. Cates and Delorier were literally on Ovechkin that entire time, the first period. They went to Ovechkin for most of it. He had some looks, but the Flyers had a good coverage on him. He got the shots off, but Cates and Delorier stayed right with him. And then the next power play that the Capitals get, they switch, and Carlson went down low, and he had a chance in front. This was off of Van Riemsdyk tripping penalty, and the Caps switched Ovechkin. They put him up at the point, and Carlson moved down into Ovechkin's office, and then Oshie scored in the high slot to tie the game 1-1. And that's the problem here. You took too many penalties. No matter how good your penalty kill's been, it's a very good Capitals power play. It always has been. They've struggled, but they're over 20% for the season so far, and yet they're 22nd in the league. But going into this game, they were. And again, no matter how good your penalty kill is, you can't keep taking penalties like that. You just can't. So after that, though, Flyers had many looks. Provorov hit the post. The connecting line had a good shift. Kuznetsov was stoned by Hart in the slot. Flyers had a 3-on-1. It was connecting, just blew by the Caps defenseman, created a rush chance, and Hayes ended up shooting it wide. Frost had a pass in tight for JVR. The Flyers had many looks in that period. They won a lot of battles low. They kept a lot of plays alive, and that's what they've done. I mean, it's no secret to me that the Flyers are playing with this sort of swagger and this like type of feel to their game where they are just like all over it for most of it. And regardless if they're winning the game, losing the game, not scoring on a chance, like anything like that, like they are like, I think a lot of what they have done and just the actual system has been much, much better. And the actual games have been much better since they won. Since they beat the Islanders 3-1, and I've said this, they've done a very good job of staying in games, whether they've lost, whether they've won. The Tampa game was a little bit different, but outside of that, New Jersey played a really good 40 minutes and ended up losing that game. It was a very good, inciting game. Tonight was a good game for most of it. You were in the game. And this is kind of what Torts is talking about, right? I mean, again, I know I've been critical on Torts with some things, and I think he is a good coach, and I think, there are some things that, he's done well. There are some things that still happen that he was kind of brought in here to fix that are still happening. But, as the third period went along, it was kind of quiet for the Flyers in the first couple of minutes. They had some looks. Connecting had so many looks in this game where it was just like maybe right off his stick, or, the pass was maybe in front or behind, or, that line with him and Hayes and Cates, and they created a lot of chances, and Strome put the Capitals up front, 2-1, off of a tip on a Carlson shot, or off the Sedlak turnover where he didn't get the puck out, and the Konechny had a chance with the rush. Flyers get a power play off a delay game. Hayes just had a glorious chance off of a really nice pass from Frost, and it was just stoned by Lindgren. JVR had a pass, or JVR actually had a tip in front. He might have tipped it. I'm not too sure. It went on to Lindgren, but again, it just didn't seem like they had that like buzz kind of after that. The Caps kind of settled the game down, and the Flyers pulled the goalie. They give up 2 goals, 2 from Ovechkin, and there's the scrum late from Konechny. I don't think he liked how Ovechkin just kind of put the puck, the way he put the puck in there. He could have just shot it instead of seeing it all the way, and I guess that's what he was mad at. I'm not really too sure. But the one thing that I really liked from post-game from Konechny was he mentioned in a tweet, and this tweet here is from Adam Kimmelman. He says, Flyers now 2-10 and 3 in their past 15 games. Travis Konechny on trying to find positives in another close loss, and Konechny said, "We're tired of losing. We say it every time we come off. There's positives. We work our tails off every night. We work so hard, and there's a lot of credit to be given out. It's easy for me to say, but we hate losing, and I'm just tired of looking at the positives all the time." That is the perfect attitude to have. Like, and I have said this before too. Like, yes, you can have positives. Yes, you can do this and do that, but this isn't the first time this has like been mentioned, and I love it from Konechny because he's a guy that you want to hear it from. It's not, it doesn't always have to be the veteran guy or whoever. Like, this is a guy, Konechny, he's missed some time, he's come back, he's played well, like he's been good all season, and like he's a guy that they're gonna want to try to build around. And if you're looking at this, it's just so true. I mean, you can't keep building on positives when you still find ways to lose games. And, Delorier's mentioned this, John Tortorella's mentioned this, Tony DeAngelo's mentioned this at times. Like, they play for like 56 minutes or 58 minutes. And then there's that one shift or 30-second, 20-second, 2 minutes. I don't know how many times I've said this throughout this season. I mean, if for those who listen to my stuff, listen to the podcast, listen to these videos, like, and all that stuff, like, I say this all the time. Like, they have many issues where, again, giving up chances after a goal. That's been a theme all season. Just not being able to score at the right time. And again, when you have shifts like that where you just look absolutely deflated and the puck ends up being in your net, sometimes once, sometimes twice, you're out of the game like it's that, and then you don't have the offensive firepower to come back, and that's the problem. So, if there's anything I'm looking for from the Flyers in the remaining games here on the season, is to kind of take this into a little bit of a, I guess, kind of look at this as like maybe like a building block off the rest of the season. And I know it's kind of weird to say it like that because this is game 27 of 82, and, it's very early, and you're not always going to be perfect every night, right, too? And a lot's going to happen. Guys are going to get injured. Guys are going to come back from injury, right? So there's all that different stuff. But when you look at this, and I think the one thing that Kennedy's trying to get at here is, let's try to finish out a couple of these games, because I think they realize that they're right there and they have these games like this. This is another winnable game that unfortunately just goes right out the door for them, and it's frustrating. I mean, I'm telling you, I've said this last year when everybody was talking about the pick and everything else. Like, I don't think any of these guys at this point really care about who the Flyers get in June, July. Like that, I don't think it's on their mind at all. What's on their mind is the remaining games, how they approach these games. And I think that there's something to say about that. And, Konechny saying, I'm just tired of looking at all the positives all the time. That definitely shows that they have some bite to kind of move forward. So we'll see what happens. But let me know your guys' thoughts below. Just a quick update for Friday. My cousin is getting married on Friday. So I will not be doing a video Friday night. My video will actually be Saturday in the afternoonish for that game. Flyers take on Vegas at 10 o'clock. So, again, I will be at the wedding, so I won't be available to actually sit down, watch the game, and actually do like I normally do. So I will be doing that Saturday, so stay tuned for that. I will be there Sunday for the game against Arizona. So, yeah. Thanks, everybody, so much for watching. Remember to check out the podcast. We have Dave Poulin coming on. I still have the announcement for the time and all that stuff. So that'll be to be announced soon. Or that is to be announced. Yeah, we're on the road to 2,000 subscribers. So hit that subscribe button if you enjoyed this video. And, yeah, thanks, everybody. I'll talk to you all again soon.